Don't get me wrong. Hey YouTube, Stanley Pacion here. By love beguiled. In mood, subjunctive. Don't get me wrong. If I appear distracted, look knocked out by the light, you make a very strong performance, a singularity round whose axes my mind spins. I remember once, years ago, when I landed in New York, after living a year and a half in Europe, how the neon of America, it appeared so awesomely garish and bright. Yet when I close my eyes and picture it, all seems pale before the radiance of your face. That two people might meet for morning breakfast, look out the café's window at the steady rain, walk here and there along avenues of inviting storefronts, and before the day is over, fall into grand attachment for one another, as though there be something in the air, perhaps some electromagnetic charge, so the occasional electricity might overwhelm us. Or that Cupid might steal behind fixtures of thoroughfares. I spied him crouched near a mailbox at the start of our walk on Main Street in Point Pleasant. That the winged child might pull from his quiver arrows, whose heads, dipped in love potion, that once he aim and shoot them, grievously they would tear the mortal flesh, to make for a ruckus extraordinaire, and expectations suddenly become great. This romance presses hard upon me. It's an affection I am compelled to profess. To gain your confidence, to prove my mind sound, not at a loss to reason, I couch my verse in mood subjunctive, a grammar I use hoping to temper my overwrought affection and quiet, soften the immodest, elevated parlance. Were I not to employ this principle of language, one might believe my love for you be shameless. The mood also provides proper relief for the all too far out attitude, the conceit, whose command animates my senses, that I have come to possess a power, as it were. Higher power grant me prophetic mantle. Understand, I solely express my own wish and desire, that all I say remain contingent, of mind still hypothetical and dependent. I do not use the imperative. I make no demand. I have no special outcome in mind. I dwell in a fortress called Zion, and come from it in the pilgrim's coat and hat. I look in the mirror and see their collar and tie, and like those passengers on board the Mayflower, I know the Lord to be my helper. I fear not. Who among your friends has ever said it better? And were you to live a long and hearty life, as all actuaries predict, what future friend might ever phrase it near as well as I have put it? And if you for a moment ask that this lyric arrive, transcending everyday concerns, that it join sentiment supreme, him, the real pilot, that when we drove in white Ford van and crossed Jersey North Shore highways, while the soft brown, oh that magical, dreamlike, living, pale, ethereal, and somewhat gold light accented the downpours, whose constant unleashed falling more like the rain the Lord had promised Noah than any explicable temporary weather. Wie es eigentlich gewesen. The carriage held but just us and immortality. That when we traveled our first day together, though it is months ago, and now becomes the years, all the time which has passed, I ask you, whether it would feel shorter than the day that day I first surmised the engine mounts were tied to point, and that we, too, were belted, hurled straight ahead in solemn league. Mercy, Let it be known, mercy freely bestowed, not for this, the one earthly moment, but for our children's children, drawn and signed, delivered, a grant for us and them, settled in this verse, sure as word once promised Abraham. I hear the text my grandmother spoke. I see her at work while she ironed and folded. I watch her nod, the affirmative nod, repeat to you what she said to me. And I will bless them that bless you, and curse him that curses you. And in you shall all families of the earth be blessed.